All right, today we're diving into something that could totally reshape how we all code with AI. It's called the Agent Client Protocol, and it's basically a shot at creating a universal language for AI coding tools. This might just be the thing that unlocks the next huge leap forward. So, let's get into it. So, let's start with a problem that I know has frustrated a ton of you. You find this amazing, brand new AI coding assistant, but, oh, you can't use it in your go-to code editor. Why is there so much friction? Why can't all these incredible tools just, talk to each other?
Well, the core of the issue is that right now, the AI coding world is really just a bunch of walled gardens. Every agent is tightly bundled with a specific editor or interface, and getting them to work together, that's the exception, not the rule.
And living in these walled gardens creates some major headaches. First off, there's a huge integration overhead. Anytime an editor wants to support a new agent or vice versa, it means a ton of custom one-off work. That, of course, leads to limited compatibility. Your favorite agent only works in a couple of places. And the end result? It's developer lock-in. You end up choosing an entire ecosystem, not just the best tool for the job.
But what if we could just tear down those walls? That's exactly the idea here. The solution is to create a shared standard, a common language that all these different tools can use to communicate freely.
And that solution has a name, the Agent Client Protocol, or ACP. Simply put, it's a rulebook for how code editors and AI agents should talk to each other. And it's built from the ground up to be flexible, whether that AI agent is running right there on your machine or halfway across the world in the cloud.
Now this right here, this is the light bulb moment. The best way to think about ACP is to compare it to the Language Server Protocol, or LSP. If you're a developer, you've experienced the magic of LSP. It's what lets your editor instantly give you things like auto-completion and error checking for a brand new language. ACP wants to be for AI agents what LSP was for programming languages, a total game changer.
And you can see just how flexible it is. For local agents, the ones running right on your laptop for privacy, it can use a super simple, super fast communication method. But for those huge, powerful agents that live in the cloud, it can easily switch over to standard web stuff like HTTP. It's designed to handle both worlds without breaking a sweat. So what's the philosophy behind all this? Well, it really boils down to three things developers really care about. First, universal compatibility, the dream of build once, run anywhere. Second, privacy is baked right in from the start, so your code stays your code. And third, it's completely open source, which means the whole community can get involved and make it better. Okay, that all sounds great on paper, but here's the real question. Is anybody actually using it? Let's take a look at the proof, because this ecosystem is blowing up way faster than you might think.
I mean, just look at the list of editors getting on board. You've got Zed, where the protocol started with native support. But the really huge one here is JetBrains. Their whole family of IDEs is getting ASCP support. And then you have plugins for the classics like Emacs and Neovim, even web browsers. The adoption is getting seriously widespread.
And it's the exact same story on the agent side of things. We're talking about the heavy hitters here. Google's Gemini, Anthropic's Claude, OpenAI's Codex, they're all accessible through ACP. Plus, you've got companies like Square building their own native agents, and a bunch of open source projects jumping in too. This isn't just some side project, it's quickly becoming the standard.
This timeline really drives home how fast this is all happening. It started at the end of August 2025 with Google. Literally a week later, Anthropic is in. Then, early October, we get that massive announcement from JetBrains. And just 10 days after that, OpenAI's Codex is up and running. This isn't a slow crawl, it's an absolute explosion.
Okay, so an open standard is gaining steam. That's cool. But what does it actually mean for you, the developer, when you sit down to write code tomorrow? Why should you care?
It all comes down to one incredibly powerful concept: true freedom of choice. ACP breaks the chains connecting the agent to the editor. That means you can finally create your perfect personalized workflow. You get to use the editor you're fastest in and pair it with whatever AI agent is the absolute best for the task at hand. No more compromises. This is about unlocking a whole new level of productivity.
So, this leaves us with a pretty big question to chew on. We all know AI is becoming an indispensable part of coding. So in that future, do you think it'll be the open standards, the things like ACP that let everything work together, that will decide which tools win and which ones get left behind in their walled gardens? It's definitely something to think about.